what makes life beautiful is the resilience and power of determination. This week's special episode on Johnny Uncharted, we feature a young, beautiful, and get it done kind of a lady. So just jumping straight into our show. Hi.
Hi, Anastasia.
Kindly tell us your name. Tell us a brief history of who you are.
My name is Vallary Onyando. I was a student at the University of Nairobi, graduating in September 2023. I am currently working as a geospatial engineer at the World Bank Group in Nairobi. While in the University of Nairobi, I undertook my bachelor's in geospatial engineering for 5 years. I got a first-class honors degree. Throughout, I got awards from third year to the fifth year, consistently keeping up with academics. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Thank
so
you.
now, when you're growing up, did you imagine that Vallary will become, a geospatial engineer? Did you want to become a doctor? What was your initial dream when you were a kid?
Actually, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a police officer. Shockingly enough. Thank God that did not happen. So growing up, I am from a family of 4 kids, 3 girls, 1 boy. I am the 3rd child. I joined university. I was always a gifted child. I didn't have to struggle for academics, so I was okay just passing through. And this was the case in my 1st and 2nd year. And then COVID happened and we went home. That's when online learning started seriously. I started taking my academics seriously from my 3rd year. And I'm grateful for that. I know the pandemic was a terrible time, lives were lost, but for my academic pursuits, I got focused. I became obsessed with school. My 3rd year, my 4th year, my 5th year, I was obsessed with being the top in class, and that was what happened. And I'm grateful for that focus, because that's what led me. I cultivated that same passion in my work life. After graduation, I interned at GIZ, and then went on to be an intern at World Bank, which is a very good sector to work in. So I'm grateful for that drive that I cultivated.
Yeah, true. And now you're living, some of this young people's dream. And now you've said that you had a passion for reading. You had, something that you grew up with.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in primary and studying, how was it for you? How was your journey in primary?
I was a sponsored kid, first of all. There's something called Mwalimu National Circle Foundation. It's a foundation for kids whose parents died, who are initially teachers. So both my parents, I come from a teaching background. My aunt is the vice chancellor of JUST. My mom is a teacher, my uncles are teachers. So in my family, my dad was a lecturer and he passed away. So from his death, I got the chance to be sponsored for my, it started in my high school life and completely in my university life. So high school, I was at State House Girls, which is a very prestigious but expensive school. I'm grateful my education was covered. So that also motivated me to stay on top. I was gifted enough to not struggle too much on it, and I'm grateful for that. In uni, I also cultivated the same drive to study. Yeah.
Okay, and now you said that, first of all, sorry for, your loss of parents at a tender age. But now, how was that journey for you, you being young, learning to live by yourself, not, with a parent where you can just go and tell them, Mom, I am going through this and this and this. How was it for you?
I learned early on to survive to depend on myself. It's really important for you to know that you're on your own in a way, in a sense. It is represented in my work life also, because it also comes down to you to look for your opportunities. It comes down to you to seek better opportunities for yourself to better your life. Yes.
And now, are you the only child in your family? Are you the firstborn, the lastborn? Where do you?
I am the 3rd born, second to last, but the 3rd born.
Not the 3rd born. And now, you being now a girl and, having to pursue a course that people might say that it's, this is a manly course.
Exactly.
How did people say, and how was your first impression?
Funny enough, the whole course of geospatial engineering, in 1992, the University of Nairobi called it surveying. Surveying, it's like a man's job in a sense, because you're out in the field, sun. Other areas are dangerous enough that they have to get security to survey areas. So when I was starting out, I was a bit skeptical. And then that's when I dived into GIS and remote sensing, which is initially, on most part, it's a desk job. that I'm grateful that I have an interest in and I have a passion in it. Yeah.
And now, before now coming into your university life, let's just go back to your high school life. You said that you went to, you know, a very beautiful school, a very pretty school, and maybe people don't know about it, but was that your dream school at then?
No, because it was international school. At the time, it was an extra county school. My dream school was Kenya High. I got 410 marks, but I schooled in a private school. I don't know if it's still a thing in Kenya today, but you have better chances to go to a national school if you went to a public primary school. I was at a private primary school, so like the jump to national school was very hard at the time. That's what happened actually. I got picked to go to State House, but I'm grateful for how things turned out. State House is a very good school with very, very good opportunities. Yeah.
And now, speaking about opportunities, do you have to say that, you know, when you went to State House Girls, that's when now you joined University of Nairobi to give you a platform now to join University of Nairobi, not just like any other, you know, university or any other thing?
It's literally, they share fences actually, University of Nairobi and the ADD side. So I would envision myself living that life. It's a good school. I am proud I got into the University of Nairobi. It was a good chance for me to delve deeper into what I want to do. Actually, the program I got into, I went through in the university through the World Bank Group internship program. It's only the University of Nairobi in Kenya that takes part in the program. So we have 13 universities across Africa. It's UON in Kenya, University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, just like one university per country. I will not have gotten the chance if I went to another university. Yeah. Yes.
And now, if someone was maybe to ask, how did you get that opportunity?
Academics, you need to be the top in your class. That's the only way. Because how I got into, I was the top student in geospatial engineering. There were top students in urban planning, economics. We were around 8 students chosen, and then from the 8 of us, 8 from this university, and then other 13 universities had to also nominate 8 names. So in the end, we were around 150 students competing for 20 slots around Africa. I've been lucky to be placed in Nairobi. Others are in West Africa, others are in Tanzania, but I'm very, very grateful for how things turned out. If you would like to do the same thing, I just suggest you have like a very good academic track record. I'm talking about not even being the top 5, but like the best student. Yeah.
And now, you know, you being in a field that, you know, is male dominated, in your class, what percentage of women were you?
A quarter. I think, yeah, that's a quarter. We're around like 10 girls in a class of 50. But shockingly enough, the proportion of first class, there were 5 girls and 2 boys. So 7 people with first class honors, but 5 girls, 2 boys. Again, just speaks volumes about the type of era we are in. Like girls taking the charge, taking the lead, yeah.
Yeah, true. And now, this is a very difficult course. And now, your mental health now comes in where it matters. And now, we have doctors who are now, you know, go to internships, they kill themselves. How did you manage, you know, to make your mental health at, you know, be at par, and at the same time, you have a course that, you know, is manly?
I feel like you need to have an outlet for things. My outlet was through fictional books. I find myself just drifting away from academics and work pressure. Like I think the most high pressure job I've had is GIZ. I used to have like solely focus on work. There was no divide between my work life and my personal life. At some point, my manager just talked to me and told me, you need to set aside some time for it, you're going to crash out. And I'm glad I took his advice. So the same thing in university. My outlet was books. Currently, it's still books. It's just, if I set myself that I'm not touching anything work-related during the weekend, that's what I'll do. Yeah.
And now, you know, you worked as you studied. Is this a good thing for a student to do? Because now you said that, you know, you're...
No. I will not recommend that. It's hectic. And for you to be at the top of your game in terms of academics, just focus on your academics. No one is forcing you to work as a student. I know there are bills to pay, but do not put your academics at the back end just because you're looking for quick cash, because it will affect you. If your grades, I think the most important thing for an entry-level person, like a new graduate, would be your academics. No one is checking for your work experience when you start working, because they know you've just graduated. After some time, you can just build experience and then go from then. But just focus on your academics fully when you're in school. Yeah.
And now, at this rate, like in 2024, we have an employment rate of 5.7%. Now, in 2023, it was 5.6. That's now a 1% increase. And now, when you're in university, did you feel like, man, will I finish and there's no job for me? Where will Vallary go? How was it for you when looking out and seeing people don't have work, and you are about to graduate, or you're looking forward to the employment sector? How did you go about it?
I think that's a worry for each Kenyan graduate these days. What's next? At least in school you have a structure. Just wake up and go to classes, do your exams, finish. But now afterwards it's up to you. I think my biggest thing is for you need to identify your niche and what you can bring to your profession. Then from that, build your skills. In a sense that if you're like 20 graduates competing for the same job, you stand out. Just not simply from, I'll speak of my profession, because geospatial has aspects of coding. If I come to the job market and I want someone who has experience in R, Python, and Java, I have all three. Someone else does not have any, another one has one. I'm in a better place to get the job. That's why I believe, because this is the time to build your skills, this is the time to fully focus in school, because your curriculum won't cover everything. The university curriculum won't cover anything. It's better to just build your skills, online sources, everything else, get certificates to be the best person to get the job. Yeah. Unfortunately, unemployment will be there I think it's just a constant thing, and it's a constant worry. So it's better for you to put your best foot forward, build your skills, and then just go from there. Yeah.
You've spoken something, and I really like it, that you must identify your niche. And now, Vallary, how did you identify your niche and say that, me, I'm good in geospatial engineering, and that's where I'll go to?
So I like helping people. That's what I'll say. My niche was in the international development world. So first of all, the first job I had, the JZ one, was in food security. We had like a project in Western Kenya where you're helping the projects make decisions. Where should we map out soil erosion hotspots to make intervention methods? Which farmers should we help? Same thing with the World Bank now. It's an electricity project. So it's like, my work is to identify who doesn't have access to electricity, for them to fund the projects to provide electricity. So it's quickly on. I've just realized I'm not cut out to work for profit. I'm cut out to work for the SDGs in a way. So that's my niche. That's what I've learned to develop, humanitarian actions and how to help people out. Yeah.
And now, if someone was to ask you, Vallary, what did you love about your university journey? What did you tell them?
Wow. Okay. We have like field work activities, because essentially there's surveying in it. There's like, you need to learn how to process data. At the time, I remember, I don't know if it's changed, we went to Kibwezi and Mombasa in our third years. So we had to go to the field. You're like a literal surveyor in the middle of nowhere, picking data, going back, analyzing it, making informed decision making from it. I really love that. And then if you add in the input from, I had like the best team of lecturers, people that would approach any day, anytime. I still talk to my department chair, Dr. Siriba, who is a very core component of why I am who I am today. Yes.
And now you seem like a very serious person now. I'm compelled to ask, are you a sports person? What do you do apart from, Vallary reading, Vallary going to the field work, Vallary looking for people who don't have electricity? What is that fun fact about, Vallary?
I think I developed a habit last year of going to the gym. You're centered around that. You just zone out of everything else and just completely in the gym. I mentioned fictional novels. I just put aside the motivational books for a second and just focus on the fictional ones. Step out of your world and just live in that one.
True.
Yeah.
And now, where there's something good, there's also something bad. What are some of those challenges that you had, in your university life?
Maybe I would say university life. Maybe imposter syndrome. Because when do you go from a student to a professional? I think that's my biggest challenge. Yes, you learn everything theoretically, but you're in a workplace, you're the only principal GIS person. you're expected to deliver outputs. Yes, you do deliver, but how do you assess their credibility? How do you feel like you've done enough work? So that's imposter syndrome for me. That's the biggest challenge.
Did you tarmac? How was your transition from university to work?
I was very, I don't know, I was the like very rare cases of very good outcomes. I remember my interview for JZ was 2 days after my graduation.
Wow.
And then the World Bank one came like 2 weeks after JZ. So I've been lucky enough in my life. Yeah.
And now, Vallary, you were diagnosed with a disease. How did you feel? First of all, sorry for whatever happened, but can you take us through that journey?
There's something called trigeminal neuralgia. I did not know it existed before it happened to me. So it was the last day, the last exam we did. Then the next day I went. I'm originally from Kisumu, so I went to Kisumu. I went home. The night I just got like a severe chronic facial pain. I thought it was like a tooth pain. Go to the dentist. They just kept referring me, and then I went to the next, like a specialist, a neurologist, who said, this is what you have trigeminal neuralgia, which is a chronic illness of facial nerve pain. So basically, there's a nerve behind close to the brain. It's supposed to control 2 nerve endings, and when the nerve endings touch, you get like facial pain, either on this side of the face or this side. So I had one on this side of the face. I get to the hospital, they tell me, oh, there's a surgery that you can have, but it doesn't cure it, it just prolongs the duration between attacks. I did not end up having the surgery, and I'm grateful, like after 1 month it went away. I did not have an attack since then, which I'm still grateful for. But I'm also glad that I got the attack after my exams, because I do not think I will have done my exam with that sort of pain. Yeah, I'm just learning to live life with it. Obviously, there are like lifestyle changes you have to make for you to live a smooth life. Quit sugar, avoid stress, chamomile tea, things of the sort. Yeah.
And now I'm interested in knowing how you avoid stress, because we are in a century where you can't avoid stress. Stress finds you where you are. So what are those measures that you took for yourself and said that my health matters and this is what I will do? Because now this is your final exam. This is a sickness that came with it. Now what did Vallary do?
I've taken a new mantra to just never take things seriously. A solution will come about. I'm not overthinking about things and then they affect my health in the end. So these days, if there's a problem, if there's no probable solution, I'll just wait on it, ask someone for advice, and then find a solution in the end. But I'm not being stressed about it. Yeah.
And now, having that power to continue moving, having that discipline, what does it entail to have good discipline? Having books every time, and a university student, you know how it goes. Books with you, and books, majorly with a person who now is around technology. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, and all these things now to put in a factor that you must stay focused. Now, what entails a good disciplined person?
I told you, my case was an obsession, literally, academic obsession. I just wanted to be the best. And I think that helped me be the best. But in my third year, I think, it was more of discipline, because we were home. You literally have, I think that was the first time the university was trying out online learning. So I have the option to turn off my camera, to turn off my microphone and just sleep. You will talk, you won't know I'm sleeping. But it just came down to discipline and a genuine interest in your profession. I learned about satellites and how I can use their data. I got intrigued by it and just slow by slow just remembered, oh, this is a good course that I should focus fully on it. Yeah.
And now to where you are, working at the World Bank, people dream about it. Now Vallary is from university. Vallary is a young lady. Vallary is working at the World Bank. Now, Kwanza, what was your first impression working at a position where people dream about?
A bit stunned, but also believing in my abilities. Because I got there, I was told, oh, you stood out because you picked from a pool of around 150 students. Already that's an achievement in itself. You are the best in a bunch of people. So I got there, a good reception. It was good enough for me to center myself, see what I need to deliver for it to like open other opportunities. Like now they can consider other university students from the University of Nairobi to take on their programs. When I got there, actually the World Bank does not hire bachelor students. It's really rare. Everyone else I've worked with has like a master's and above. So for me to be there, to see the impact they make, there's a genuine interest for me to go back to school to get the required knowledge for me now to come back and then help other people. Yeah.
And now, if talking about helping other people, what are those things that you've taken and then felt like, I've impacted at least one or two from wherever I'm seated at?
That's like, I saw firsthand what my data was doing. I'll just give an example of a project. So they have a watershed management program that's like to conserve all the water features in the area in Western Kenya. My task was to map out erosion hotspots in the area and then I'll give them the data for them now to focus on, oh, this is a really eroded area, let's focus our intervention efforts on that area. We had like field work, so you'll go and see what your data is doing on the ground. Farmers coming up with their success stories, telling you what you did helped us in this way, we're grateful for you. And that's like another yearning you can't get in the private sector world, because I'll be working for profit without really helping anyone else in the market. Yeah.
And now, how was your experience been, from the time now you started working till now? How was your experience?
I like it actually. Like I like uni, but I won't come back to uni because it's a really different world in the like work life. You get to practice your theories and like just help everyone in general. Yeah.
And now, what are those solutions that World Bank has offered, especially to young people, and especially from whatever you said that they don't look at university students at large. So what are those steps that from wherever you're seated at, that you see that our organization has taken a step in helping one or two people, and what role have you played in you helping them know that there are people who look up to you, there are people who want to join you, so you can do this and this and that.
The program I'm in is actually an infrastructure group program. So basically transport, energy and digital services, the three sectors. There's like a combined effort now at the World Bank to introduce other teams into it. Maybe social governance, communications, like just to involve other sectors in the program. Last year they picked 20 students. This year they picked 40 students. So like the number is increasing. So it's a good thing for everyone involved. Like we have more opportunities for them to utilize the university students from the bachelor's background. Yeah.
And now we are in an era where technology is highly valued. Now, if you were at that time and right now, technology has evolved in its own way. So what is the importance of of someone learning how to use technology, and how did you use technology to put you to where you are right now?
It's a really interesting field, and it's really like there's a lot to gain from it. AI is rapidly growing, especially in geospatial. There's a field called GeoAI. That's basically an integration of geospatial and artificial intelligence. If you combine the two, you get like a really automated level of processing. But there's also like the user side of things, who does the modeling, who encourages the use, and it's really being adopted by many organizations. So I will embrace technology at this point. But just like from the student end of things, it's really important for you to hone your skills. Like I said, identify your niche and then now build on that. Yeah.
And if someone was now to say that Vallary impacted me, and Vallary, I've seen your story and I'm really impressed by what you're doing. And now, what would be that one word of advice you'll tell a person who's going through the same shoes that you went through? Losing a parent, having an illness, and learning, to live with it. What will that advice be?
It'll turn out okay. Like, I know at the moment you feel, oh, is this really my life? Or what will I do in the end? In the end, everything will be fine. That's what I can say. Because if you told me, like, in June 2023 that I will be living this life right now, I will have said no. But now everything is fine. Everything turns out okay. You'll get your degree, you'll get your job, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
And maybe just to wind up our conversation, and you'll just look at that camera, someone would want to know where to find, Vallary. Someone would want you to be their mentor or mentee. So what will you tell them? Where will they find you?
So I am very active on LinkedIn. Just search on Vallary Onyando, LinkedIn. That's like the first profile you get. Beyond that, you can find me on email at valonyando@gmail.com, as well as my phone number is 0748 128 620. Yeah, you can reach me through any of the three.
From losing her parents at a young age, facing a chronic illness a day before her final examinations in university, to getting a first-class honors and now working at the World Bank. This has been the successful story of Vallary.
UNCTV, empowering you.